Today we're taking a look at these three NBA matches: Minnesota Timberwolves vs Utah Jazz, Denver Nuggets vs Memphis Grizzlies, and Sacramento Kings vs Dallas Mavericks, which are happening on Monday, April 26, 2021, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes. Let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. So I am going to start off by talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves vs Utah Jazz match. Minnesota went to Utah and pulled off a shocking upset in the first meeting between the two teams on Saturday. It marked the second time they have beaten the Jazz this season. They'll try to upset the odds for a second straight time in a game where the Jazz are 10-point favorites. It will be at least another week before Jazz star guard Donovan Mitchell is suiting up and stepping back out on the court. He is still recovering from an ankle sprain, while the team desperately tries to hold on to the number 1 seed in the Western Conference standings without him. It has been a rough start, with the Jazz going 2-2 in their last 4 games, including a shocking upset loss at home to the Timberwolves. The biggest question coming into Monday's rematch is how much credit the Timberwolves should get for winning on Saturday. Granted, it's an unfair question considering the Timberwolves went into Utah and beat the Jazz on their home floor. That's an impressive feat regardless of what sense you want to attempt to make out of it. In both meetings, the Jazz turned the ball over 19+ times and they haven't shot above 41% from the floor. It's one of those strange occurrences considering the Timberwolves rank among the worst defensive teams in the league. But they always seem to get up to play the Jazz. Perhaps the most impressive part about these head-to-head meetings is the previous 2 games were held in Utah. The Jazz have only lost 4 times on their home floor all season, and half of those losses came at the hands of the Timberwolves. Now, with the rematch on the road, the Jazz are suddenly listed as 9.5-point favorites in a game Donovan Mitchell won't even be playing in. History says to take the dogs, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. My first betting advice for that game is to pick Minnesota Timberwolves plus 9.5. The Jazz are 4-9 ATS in their last 13 road games and 2-5 ATS in their last 7 games overall. The Timberwolves are 4-1 ATS in their last 5 Monday games and 3-1 ATS in their last 5 games overall. The under is 5-1 in Jazz last 6 overall. The over is 7-3 in Timberwolves last 10 overall. The Jazz are 5-1 ATS in the last 6 meetings in Minnesota. My second betting advice for that game is to pick over. Now I'm going to talking about the Memphis Grizzlies vs Denver Nuggets match. Denver lost Jamal Murray for the season not too long ago, but it hasn't seemed to slow them down. On Monday, they look to keep the positive momentum going when they host the Memphis Grizzlies. The Nuggets are 36-21 on the season, 4th in the Western Conference, while Memphis is holding on to the 8th spot in the conference at 30-28. Denver has beaten Memphis twice this season, but both games went down to the wire. They beat them 139-137 in overtime on April 19th and 103-102 back in March. The Grizzlies are playing the second night of a back-to-back. On Sunday they took on the Portland Trail Blazers and came away with a 120-113 win on the road. The win improved the Grizzlies' record to 120-113, 8th in the conference. The Denver Nuggets have won 5 of their last 6 games to improve to 39-21, which puts them 4th in the Western Conference. But Nuggets have seemed to pull it together after suffering the devastating blow of losing Jamal Murray for the season. Led by Nikola Jokic, the Nuggets just keep on rolling along. The Nuggets are coming off a win on Saturday over the Houston Rockets by the score of 129-116. Michael Porter Jr. has been filling in the gap on the offensive side with Murray injured. He has been on a tear in April, averaging 23.1 points per game on 55.6% from the field and 42.9% from the three-point line. He certainly has that irrational confidence going for him, and I expect him to keep it rolling against a tired Grizzlies team. Will Barton has been ruled out indefinitely after suffering an injury to the Warriors. While it will definitely hurt the Nuggets, it's common to see the next man up mentality give these teams some motivation and a short-term boost in their production. Typically, the team playing the back end of a back-to-back is going to have a hard time winning, especially on the road against a better team. But this is the last game of a brutal 7-game road trip for the Grizzlies, and they would like nothing more than to head back home with a win. The Grizzlies have played the Nuggets well this year, losing twice by a total of 3 points, including an overtime game. So here is my first betting advice for this match. Memphis. The Grizzlies are 8-2 ATS in their last 10 road games and 4-1 ATS in their last 5 games playing on 0 days rest. The Nuggets are 1-4 ATS in their last 5 home games and 0-4 ATS in their last 4 games overall. The over is 5-1 in Grizzlies' last 6 overall. The over is 34-16-2 in Nuggets' last 52 home games. The Grizzlies are 1-3-1 ATS in the last 5 meetings in Denver and 3-0-1 ATS in the last 4 meetings. My second betting advice under 228.5. Now I'm going to talking about the Dallas Mavericks versus Sacramento Kings match. The Mavericks are coming off their 3rd straight victory as they were able to take out the defending champs Los Angeles Lakers in a 2-game home set by picking up a sweep and a 15-point win Saturday night. Anthony Davis, and his 2nd game back from injury, was held to 5-19 shooting in the contest after posting just 4 in the opener, while the Lakers shot just 38% on the night, 27% from deep. On the other hand, the Mavericks made just under 50% of their shots along with 13 trays as Dorian Finney-Smith, 21 points, and Luka Doncic, 18, accounted for 6. Doncic also came 2 boards shy of a triple-double, while Dwight Powell went 11-12 from the floor with 25 points as the Mavericks picked up their 33rd win of the year. The team also covered for the 2nd straight game as 2-point favorites, yet Dallas is 3-7 ATS in their last 10 outings. The Kings were unable to win their 2nd straight as they fell on the road to the Golden State Warriors Sunday night by 4 as they failed to build from the momentum of a 7-point lead after the opening period. Furthermore, they allowed the Warriors to shoot 48% as a team while nailing 14 trays, 7 by Steph Curry, who led the way with 37 on the night. On the other hand, the Kings shot a decent 48% as a team while also nailing 14 three-pointers, however, were heavily out-rebounded in the contest by a 52-38 margin while giving up a total of 16 offensive boards. Aside from losing their 36th game of the season, Sacramento was able to cover as 7.5-point dogs and are 3-1 ATS in their last 5 games. First off, they have the extra day of rest and Sacramento is missing their leading scorer. However, so is Dallas. In fact, the Mavericks have a number of key injuries that look very difficult for them to overcome. The Kings have dominated the Mavericks of late, going 19-6-1 ATS in the last 26 meetings and are 8-3-1 ATS in the last 12 in Sacramento. Plus, playing on back-to-back nights has not been a concern for the Kings. Look for Dallas to see their 3-game winning streak come to an end. My first betting advice for that game is to pick Sacramento Kings. The Mavericks are 3-7 ATS in their last 10 Monday games and 2-6 ATS in their last 8 games overall. The Kings are 3-0-1 ATS in their last 4 games playing on 0 days rest and 2-6-1 ATS in their last 9 games overall. The under is 21-10 in Mavericks' last 31 overall. The over is 6-0 in Kings' last 6 games playing on 0 days rest. The Mavericks are 3-8-1 ATS in the last 12 meetings in Sacramento and 6-19-1 ATS in the last 26 meetings. The Sacramento Kings are averaging 114.6 points on 48.2% shooting and allowing 119 points on 49.2% shooting. De'Aaron Fox is averaging 25.2 points and 3.5 rebounds, while Buddy Hield is averaging 16.6 points and 3.1 assists. My second betting advice for that game is to pick over 227. That's it for this video. Good luck to all of you.